Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I haven't done this in a while. After about 2 years and a half of doing absolutely nothing, I am about back to uploading some videos about what I play, about what I do. Of course, you go check the last videos where I did talk, and this one, well, there's a big difference. Anyway, back to the title of the video. Today we are playing Project Butterfly, and I'll probably be referring to PB in every other video, but I will probably in the intro say what I'm actually playing, so nobody has any trouble there. Okay, so for the newcomers on my channel, welcome. I am having quite the experience. For the old people that still remember me somehow, and there are very few of those, I'm back, kind of. You'll see what I mean over time. Now, to the actual subject, this game, and the fact that it's the first video making on it, well, today we are playing this funny little silly game that resembles something similar. I swear I played something similar before, man. I swear I played something similar. But, yeah, it basically is a game where the first thing you go after entering the game, you press this funny E button on your keyboard, and you end up having this spawn in, which is also very similar to something else I've seen, I think. Now, nonetheless, this game is literally a version, or I guess a fan game, or its own little variant of a different very popular game, Beeswarm Simulator. It's very similar, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to intend the fact that it has copied directly from it. Probably just some guy wanting to make a game like this. I'm gonna show you the small little aspects of this game in case you don't even know Beeswarm at all, so you can go in a field, and this is part of the tutorial, where I'm not gonna stay and read it, but basically you go in and you use your tool. Of course, I have to mention that I'm actually completely maxed on this game. So, sorry for all the people thinking like this is how you start the game. No, this is not at all. I have played it before, and I have decided to make the first video on it on my channel. So, of course, this is Butterfly. And there they are on my hive here, as you can see. And in this funny little game, you have the classic one that resembles very similarly like the basic bee. In fact, even this thing called enhancement here, very similar to the basic bees gifted bonus. Then you have your rare butterflies, then your epic ones, and fabled ones, which is masquerade for legendaries. And there's also unique, which is about the same thing for event bees in Beeswarm Simulator. Now, of course, this game is hilarious because it's in its very beta stage, but it's been around for, well, kind of the end of January, something like that, I think it's been public. And it's the end of February as I'm posting this as well, so therefore this game's been out for about a month. There's been videos before, it's not the first kind of video. Okay, so coming into here, I'm gonna actually get into the actual stuff. I am sorry for those who have no idea about the game, because I will just get straight into the meat of it. But, in other words, there's meant to be an update as of right now. It's 25th of February, and there's meant to be an update. Now, I'm not so sure if it's actually gonna come out on the date release that you'll see on screen. There's been an obvious screenshot in the background. Although it should be anywhere between 21st and 28th of February, so until the month ends. I doubt it, because of apparently the owner getting really sick in a really bad manner, so therefore we're gonna have a little bit of difficulty here. The idea is, if it doesn't come out by the end of February, probably March, probably starting anywhere from the first or 2 weeks of March. Now, first of all, I want to talk about a code that is meant to be public and working up until 1st of March. As you can see on screen, there's a legitimate code, my bad, called one Maciek, I think it's pronounced. He's Polish, and therefore I'm not Polish, so therefore I don't really know if I'm saying this right, but as far as I'm aware, it's Maciek or something like that. Close enough, let's say 50% close enough. Sorry for butchering that, because I 100% did that, because the game actually reached 200,000 unique players, so unique users that joined the game, which is pretty fast considering for a month. And you get the prime time effect. For those who know, you already know what that means, and it's for about 3 days. Now I want to mention that earlier in Valentine's Day update, apparently there was one of those and I wasn't even aware of. But I used a different code, which you also see on screen. I don't exactly remember how it's called. In fact, there were multiple, not just one, but there's one with the prime time effect, and it gave 4 days of that. And just for you guys to know, in these 4 days, I've been able to grind most of the gear that you already see on me, or have saw in the video. So basically, in about 4 days, you can do quite a lot. Not everything, I have to mention, unless you're grinding 24/7, which I didn't. I only played a few hours a day, other than the first day, which I played most of the day. But on average, let's just say 6 hours a day, and this is about what I get. Not all the gear, again. For example, if I go into my gear section, you can see I have the belt and these 2 gloves that I actually saved for last. I didn't actually have these by the time, but again, that's with only a certain amount of hours left on the clock, so I didn't play the whole day. Of course, I didn't use any sort of AFK, I didn't grind for items AFK mostly. Now, they don't work exactly the same. Obviously, the butterflies are clearly not the same, like you can see here, like these are the legendary ones, okay? Every single one of these that you see are legendary here. They don't really look alike, and they don't sound alike, and they mostly aren't alike. Excluding for one that has a particular reference to a particular bee in B-Storm. Very specific, I'm gonna be honest. It does probably... You're gonna see it for yourself if you do end up being a neutral hive, but you know what I mean. Now, I want to talk about the Coco Yo-Yo changes. Again, the changes to this silly weapon I have equipped, this last one, it kind of looks like a Coco Yo-Yo to me. It's literally a coconut JPEG, so I suppose you understand. So this thing right here, this thing has the power to collect 3 nectar from tiles hit with a 2.25x multiplier. Before this was 3x multiplier, I believe. The changes to this, and you'll also see it on screen just like always. First of all, it collects less, 2 out of 3. Now, that's not a lot considering 3 is literally not even that big of a number, but it's a 33% decrease. It has a smaller cooldown, from 8 to 6, great. But the part about it that actually works, which is the Coco combo, I believe, that thing has some changes. Now, before it was only hitting, not marks, how are these called? Abilities, I think, yeah. So they were just hitting abilities, and as you can see on my screen down here, there's a Coco combo, I'll mention it, although it's probably said differently because of how it's written. And it has 13x multiplier, for example, and it gives you 14% crit chance. Can you stop moving? And 2.05, man, I can't read it when it moves like that, but 2.05 yo-yo critical power and 14% chance. So, in general, it practically just gives you a pretty good ability to collect a lot, and I mean a lot, per single swing before the update comes. You also get to see this as it goes once, it swings once, and then it swings a second time, or a bounce, you can also call it a bounce, it bounces 3 times, for example, 4 times, and so on and so forth. Now, how this works, as of right now, he even mentions, at the old one, it starts at a single bounce, and it increases by 3 for every 100% critical power, or by 1 for every 33% critical power. Now, more than that, overall, in the new version, you end up getting 2 bounces at the start and it increases by 1 every 50% critical power. Which means that if I were to put my previous stat of 375 minus 100% the base, which is 2 bounces, then I'll end up getting something around 5 more bounces, I think. Yeah, there was a cut there, but don't mind. And this is a big one. There's some changes, some major ones to Shimmer. By Shimmer and every other type of Shimmer mana, like, I actually don't have Shimmer with me at all. Yeah, I'm pretty poor on the resources. Again, I played this game for not very long. Although it looks like I have some sort of capacity and some sort of resources, but it's not really a lot, trust me. We go to the Foundry, which, for the people who don't know, is the about same thing in the Blender in B-Storm. Shimmer is basically the equivalent of Glitter in B-Storm, and unlike the actual original game, this game actually has multiple variants of Shimmer. Now, for some reason, either I'm blind, either it's actually all gone. Okay, I was a little blind, it's not actually all gone, there's still 2 variants of Shimmer in my inventory. So, We have Silver Shimmer, which boosts neutral fields in particular by 200% and dyes any field neutral for 15 minutes. Dyeing a field for 15 minutes in a specific color basically just means that you go to a field, you use it, and by the time you use it, basically it makes the flowers a particular color. Field cards are the exact same equivalent of what you know as loaded dice, but it's not really like the same buff. You get 3 different fields, but they're only multiplied by 1, so it's just 3 random fields all together without them dissipating away. So what's the actual shimmer difference? Well, first of all, up until now and up until this game will get the update, you can basically use shimmer plus field cards, plus the silver or azure shimmer depending on what you're using or what you want to use, and you can use them all to get up to 4x multiplier on a field. And I'm sorry to inform you, it's not like really Bison, because sadly you do not have a great enough backpack size to actually withstand more than like 1 minute in the field with those type of boosts. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't boost at this maximum level I got because I simply just don't want to yet. I also have a prime time effect to redeem still. Nonetheless, the idea is simply put that he's changing shimmer to only have 1x, and if it's higher then it will set it directly to the multiplier of the shimmer. So if this shimmer does 200%, the silver one, and if there's anything higher than 200%, it sets it at 200%. Now there's also a void shimmer, which used to give you 4x directly for 15 minutes. Now that's changed to give you only 3x, and it's hard set at it, so if you use any sort of shimmer before or any sort of field card, doesn't really matter, it's hard sets it, so it sets you directly at 3x no matter what you have. The limit is also capped, sadly. You cannot use one more silver shimmer to get 4x, for example. That's impossible. Same goes for the normal shimmer. You cannot use shimmer to get 2x. That is practically impossible. Field cards are changed a bit. Before, they do what I just mentioned earlier, give you one random field boost for 3 fields for 15 minutes, but now it also does that, but with the capability of actually extending the boost, so you can get up to 300% on one of the fields if you're lucky enough. In the background there's also some new soundtracks, as you can see on the screenshot above. You can get bored by listening to this and the night music all the time, but there's some new soundtracks, so that's epic for the next update. And on the side, the unique butterflies coming into this game. First of all, there's a poison shroom, which you even have the image of, so thank goodness for the people who made it here, the developers. There's not only one, there's multiple. It's for the cool hives or the blue hives from VStorm. Then there's gonna be the tiger lily, as I understand, for the worm hives, which is absolutely funny here because it really resembles a certain other event bee from VStorm again. And then a not so finished image, but this is called the Zephyr butterfly. It's also a unique one, and it's for neutral hives. Of course, I have absolutely no idea what any of them do, but well, as you can guess, they're probably quests, as it literally says, from the Gardener, which is also a new NPC coming into the update, which is great. Now, I've covered most of these. Okay, one more thing I want to mention. Actually, one information here that I found out one day after through the dev chat that I also completely forgot to record. Apparently, the Gardener, you can get up to 49 nest slots with the add-on that you have to complete 5 quests, each giving you 5 shimmer essence, and you can buy up to 49 total nest slots. So you buy 24 with the 25 you have, makes it 49, and therefore this game is gonna get funny real soon. I'm pretty sure I didn't miss a lot. Anyway, stuff that's important. Okay, well, as if that didn't happen again and I totally didn't miss something. I did, and it's kind of important. So there's a new item in the game that's coming really on the next update. It's called the Terraformer, and you literally see this on screen as well. But for the next 60 seconds after you use it, it basically works like a world gig in BSS. You get 1.5x convert speed and actually 1.25x if you own the Overdrive Game Pass, and also a slight movement speed increase. As you can read, it's also permanent once you buy it from the Gardener, so you can't lose it. It just has a 5-minute cooldown. For example, one thing I've missed is the passive overcurrent from the Tesla butterfly that you can see on screen and read it for yourself. It's not super important. It also applies for the spirit butterfly. And also there's a legitimate conversation right now on Discord as I'm like trying to make this video. I'm not even kidding, it's right now, this very second of the video. But basically the owner talking over here about the Gardener and that he wants to make a gardening minigame to enable boosting. So I won't really put up screenshots much. You will probably see a few, but in other words, he's just attempting to, or wants to make something that gives you some rewards. The rewards being buffs, actually. You probably get rewards as well, like in terms of items, literally. Apparently you need to water them every once in a while, so it literally is like a plant. Apparently, and I'll screenshot it once again in time so nobody says anything about it. Apparently, he wants to make Tiger Lily and Shroom, which are the cool and warm unique butterflies, be optional, literally through other ways, where the Wither one, which is also the neutral one, will be tied to gardening, as you literally revive it. So, yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I'm forced to get mine because I'm a white hive in full nature from Bstorm, or in other words, in this game's terms, a neutral hive. So yeah, that's gonna be fun to get. Either way, everyone's kind of gonna get it. You gotta apparently revive him. Now, to end up the video, close it up, I think there's gonna be enough. If I add any optional stuff, that's part 2. And in terms of everything else, well, I guess you can expect some other videos coming in about this game, most likely. I won't have any other subjects much to talk about. We're gonna get more videos like this, so I guess like any other YouTuber does, and I didn't do in about 2 years, press like if you had any fun, or I don't know, anything here helped you, and subscribe for more, I suppose. Yeah, although in reality you subscribe just to see when I actually post more often, because you literally get a notification. So, with all that said, goodbye and have a nice day, or, well, night, and whatever else you want.